So the city of Miami Beach, which has been notorious as a vacation and spring break destination for many decades, is taking some pretty drastic measures this year to, in their words, end spring break. Why would a city that thrives off of tourism and has monetized spring break for many decades want to end it? Just do a Google search for Spring Break Miami Beach 2023 and you'll see. These drastic measures include closing liquor stores at 8 p.m., DUI checkpoints, license plate readers, $100 plus fines for parking violations, bag checks, an increased police presence, and a lot more. Because for whatever reason, a lot of undesirable patrons stormed Miami Beach in previous years. And instead of sitting down and buying overpriced drinks and food like a normal person on vacation, they swarmed the streets, purchased almost nothing, smoked and drank, did drugs right out in public, bought nothing, twerked on police cars, shot each other, fought in the road. And all of this was done with absolutely no remorse whatsoever. And instead of purchasing things at these restaurants and bars that need these types of patrons to survive, not only did they not buy anything, they blocked and discouraged other people from patronizing those restaurants because they were afraid for their life. This is how undignified people with no self-respect ruin good things for everyone else. And personally, even though I hope it works, I don't think it will. Because it would be likely impossible to successfully screen tens of thousands of people as well as vehicles for alcohol, for illicit substances and so forth, and $100 fine or whatever. I don't know that that's going to discourage somebody. That's the price that it would have cost them to buy 3 drinks. So if they brought a handle or an eighth or whatever they wanted to bring in there, even the fine would be worth it in theory. But what's sad is that a once great thing that has been successful and worked for so many years, as long as people had self-respect, dignity, and followed rules, had law and order, that felt accountable to themselves, their community, their families, photos and videos of their face, as long as that was the case, it's been successful for however long. And even though it gets crazy, it's in order until recently. Why is that? But I'm going to pull it full circle here. The way that Miami Beach is handling this upcoming spring break is much like the way the United States is handling people coming into the country. It's cool until it isn't. It's cool until you have to say uncle. It's cool until you have no choice but to lay down enforcement. Because if you don't feel any accountability to your culture or your community or the people around you, it's mayhem. And as a result, everybody else has to suffer, usually after great tragedy, which is exactly what's happened in Miami Beach. Now, I really hope that I'm wrong, but I would wager that if you watch social media in Miami Beach in the next month, you'll see bad things. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate that I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that Miami Beach has a successful spring break this year and all of their measures actually pan out and convince people to not act that way again. But I'm going to take a guess that it actually won't be as effective as they might think. And as a result of them putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound, so to speak, what's going to happen is they're going to end up banning it outright, closing down the streets outright, closing in inbound traffic outright. They've even said as much as they would slow down traffic on the causeway so that it takes hours for people to even get in there. Again, ruining the opportunity, ruining the experience for so many people that would have gone there otherwise, the businesses there, the bars, the restaurants, etc. And just like the government approaches and handles almost every problem, they wait until it's too late, until tragedy strikes, and they put a Band-Aid on a fire hose. What I anticipate will happen is they're going to have a bad thing happen again. I certainly hope not. And then as a result, they're going to completely ban it next year, and they're going to end up going to nearby cities and nearby towns and repeating the same thing. But ultimately, the only end, the inevitable end of this behavior is the same way that it will need to end in America, which is law and order, and the long arm of the law defending the space, experiences, property rights, and businesses of the taxpayers of that town, even if they're there on vacation and we need them. Because the nation, much like the city of Miami Beach, is in for a reckoning, where we're going to have this ultimate realization point where we have to say, will we devolve into an unlivable hellscape third world country, or will we stand strong on the ideals that America was founded on and understand that law and order and having dignity and respect for others, for your community, having a sense of ownership of your culture, having some type of unity, some type of ownership over your nation is paramount to keeping the glue of a country together. Because even though people inside the walls of our own country like to pretend that we are somehow this bigoted nation that's so, disrespectful to people who look different than us, we're the most culturally diverse nation in the entire world by far. We're the complete opposite of that by every stretch, by every imaginable measure. But much like a unsuccessful business, if we fail to uphold some type of standard, our unity will be no longer. Our period of greatness will come to an end, as it so certainly appears to be based on what's been happening. I hope Miami Beach does it right this time, and I certainly hope that the country does it right as well. Because if we don't do something soon, if we don't take more drastic measures soon, there will be more Lake and Rileys, there will be more Miami Beaches, there will be more destruction.